Hello, Fearless Gamers, Matt here for Fearless Games, and welcome back to another Vets Review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a new hobby tool that I recently got. As you can see before me, I have some pretty essential tools in almost any model building hobby. We got your hobby knife, your clippers, and your pin vise. Now, in terms of 40K hobbying, the pin vise has kind of changed roles over the years. First, it was primarily used for pinning models because they used to be made out of metal or pewter, or a pewter-plastic hybrid, and because of the weight of appendages and such, gluing them together just usually wasn't enough. So you would drill a hole, put a brass rod in there, then glue it together, and the brass rod would give you extra support for those pieces. But now that plastic has pretty much almost taken over the entirety of 40K, with the exception of like Forge World and some Finecast stuff, the drill has been switched out for a different purpose, which is magnetizing models like this Terminator that I have here. A lot of people now will magnetize their minis, so when they get a kit, so like for example, the Cataphractii Terminator comes with a bolter, a chain fist, and lightning claws for every single Terminator. Now, if you glue them all together, you would then have to get another kit to get different weapon options. But if you magnetize them, every option could be used with the kit, getting more bang for your buck. But drilling all those holes, for example, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here alone for this one guy, plus all the weapons, it comes out to like 16, 17 magnets for one miniature. Drilling all those holes by hand can be very tedious. So, what I decided to do was pick up this hobby tool, which is the Tamiya Craft Tools Electric Handy Drill. Many of you might be familiar with Tamiya for their paint products and their glues, especially if you're into Gunpla building, very popular brand for that. But apparently they made this hand drill, which is an electric motorized version of the pin vise. So I figured it would make drilling magnet holes 10 times easier, and I can probably get it done a lot faster. So I thought I'd share this with you guys and see what I thought about it, and let you know. So, what's also interesting about this is it's a little bit of a novelty item at the same time because it is a model kit. So it's the best of both worlds. You got a new kit to add to your pile of shame, but when you're done, you have a new hobby tool that'll hopefully make building the rest of your pile of shame go faster or motivate you to at least start trying. And so in this, we've got the bag of motorized pieces. So this looks like springs, screws, some gears, motor, and some lubricating grease. And we've got 2 packages of 3 sprues. We got the trigger mechanisms, the casing, and some of the gears, and a decal sheet, there it is, a decal sheet in like a standard, this is in a standard tradition of like Gunpla models, because like I said, Tamiya is primarily associated with Gunpla kits, and actually, for any of you who build Gunplas, you'll notice that it's on very similar sprues and similar color-coded pieces. And we got our instruction kit here, which is fairly decent, but what is really cool about these hobby instructions, even though they're from Japan, if they don't bother translating the text, will at least make it so self-explanatory that as long as you can see the picture, you'll be able to figure out which piece goes where and what you're supposed to do. And So, I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with me building the kit because that'll take way too much time. So we're going to use Movie Magic to just get to the final product. And here we are, the completed model kit. Assembling the thing was not terrible. I did have a little bit of an issue with the locking mechanism where I used the wrong screw, and even though it was the exact same size, I put it in, I accidentally hit it on an angle and kind of messed up the casing for the screw bit here, so this does get a little loose now and then, so I'm concerned that this piece will eventually be rendered useless, but I don't think I'll be using the locking mechanism that often. Other than that, it wasn't really a major project to get it built. I think it took me about maybe 20 minutes, and that was with me losing a few pieces and getting a couple pieces mixed up because I went a little too quickly. That's one thing. Take your time with this. It could probably take you 15 minutes if you don't make any screw-ups to get the whole thing built. You'll just need a hobby knife to clean up some edges, a clippers to clip off the bits, and a screwdriver to screw everything into place. One thing I do recommend is with the gears, they have these little plastic bits on the for the teeth here. You want to be careful when working with those. You can risk breaking those teeth, so just be careful here. I did get lucky once with I clipped one side and I bent the gear off and managed to get a nice clean break, but I would not recommend that. Just be very careful when cutting the teeth, the funnels off the teeth of the gears. And it's got a nice bit of weight to it, so it doesn't feel cheap. Like, it doesn't feel like a novelty toy. It feels like an actual tool. The runs on 2 AA's. I find that getting the AA's in is pretty easy. Getting them out is a totally different case. In case anyone is interested in seeing, I'll throw up a picture right now. This is what the inside of it looks like. So once you screw this piece, if I took this piece off, this is what you'd see. And I ended up putting the decal sticker on because why not? And it comes with 2 chucks that are used to get you a range of 1mm to 3mm bits. The 3mm one is what I have here. I do recommend when changing out the chuck is to hold this thing down. That way gravity gravity helps you get the adapter all the way to into the casing of the holder here, because if you don't, when you put the bit in, it will wiggle because it'll be on a weird angle. So just make sure, always test it to test the spin to see if the bit is moving in a straight line before you start drilling with it. And so let us give a look at how well it drills. I've got here a piece of resin from Forge World kit. As you can see, I did test a bit with it before, so I'll give you guys an on-camera demonstration. So and there you have it. This thing is so good. Night and day difference between using the pin vise. It was effortless, it was smooth, I didn't really have to put a lot of pressure to get this thing going, and it was just a night and day difference. The one real annoying thing I have, especially when I'm working with resin, is sometimes while I'm drilling, I'll hit like a snag bit and it just feels like I'm not getting anywhere with drilling through. This went right through. I could probably drill through the entire block if I wanted to with this thing. It is really good, and it's got a nice bit of torque to it. It is a little noisy, but it's a drill, and it does exactly what you expect it to do. Honestly, it was worth purchasing. It's going to make drilling my Terminators that much faster. I am going to have to be a little careful because this thing will probably chew right through the model if I don't pay attention to how quickly I'm going through. So do be careful with especially thin bits like the shoulder pads on the Terminators or their wrists. I can see this going a little crazy if you're not careful with it, but all in all, really good tool. I do highly recommend this thing. At least off of my initial build, first initial tests, I am excited to give it a shot, to try it out on plastic. In fact, let's see here, we'll use a bit of the sprue that it came off of. Between this and GW plastic, this is a little bit more brittle, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, no. So much better than the pin vise, in my opinion. You might feel it might take a little bit of practice to get used to how much torque it has and how quickly it'll drill through things, but I think it is a step up from from pin vices by far. So I got this off of Amazon. Most places like Train hobby stores that carry a lot of Tamiya products should have this in stock as well. It ran me about $25. I have seen it go up. I have seen it gone for like $30, but definitely worth the price if you're looking to replace your pin vise with something a little bit easier. So thank you. If you guys have already had this drill, let me know in the comments what you think about it. And that is all for right now. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, hit that like button, and click on that bell icon so you can see when more of these videos come out as I post them. And once again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, Fearless Gamers, take care.